The lives of Saints Finan, Edbert, Eadfrid, and Ethelwald, Bishops of Lindisfarne. Our Holy Father Finan was an Irishman trained on Iona who succeeded St. Aidan as Bishop of Lindisfarne in 651. A zealous and learned hierarch, he worked closely with King Oswy of Northumbria and sponsored the important missions to Mercia and Essex. He reposed in 661. Our Holy Father Edbert became Bishop of Lindisfarne in 688. A very learned and generous man, he gave a tenth of his livestock, grain, fruit, and clothing to the poor every year. Every year, like his predecessor, he would retire for the whole of Great Lent to the island of Farne in the North Sea. During Lent in the year 698, he told the monks to uncover the relics of St. Cuthbert, which were found to be completely incorrupt. They brought some of the garments that had clothed the holy body to St. Edbert in Farne, and he, kissing them, said, "Let the body be put into new garments in place of those you have brought, and so lay it into the coffin you have provided. For I am certain that the place will not long remain empty, having been sanctified with so many miracles of heavenly grace. And how happy is he to whom our Lord, the author and giver of all bliss, shall grant the privilege of lying in the same." Having said this and much more with many tears and great humility, the bishop told the brothers to depart and do as he had commanded them. When they had dressed the body in new garments and laid it in a new coffin, they placed it on the pavement of the sanctuary. Soon after, Bishop Edbert fell ill, and on May 6, 698, he departed to the Lord. And they laid his body in the grave of St. Cuthbert, placing over it the coffin containing the incorrupt relics of that saint. Many miracles testified to the holiness of both saints. In 875, Edbert's relics were carried with those of St. Cuthbert through Northumbria until they found rest in Durham in 995. St. Edbert was succeeded as bishop by St. Edfrid, who had studied in Ireland and was an accomplished scribe, artist, and calligrapher. It is probably he who wrote the famous Northumbrian Gospels, which are now in the British Museum, in honor of St. Cuthbert. To him was dedicated the anonymous Life of St. Cuthbert, and he it was who invited the Venerable Bede to write his life of the same saint. He restored from the foundations the oratory in which St. Cuthbert had struggled on Farne. He died in 721 and was buried near St. Cuthbert's tomb. His relics, too, were taken round Northumbria together with those of St. Cuthbert and laid to rest in Durham in 995. In 1104, his relics were translated with St. Cuthbert's into the new cathedral in Durham. St. Edfrid was succeeded by St. Ethelwald, a Northumbrian who became a monk and later prior and abbot at Melrose. He was a disciple of St. Cuthbert. He caused a stone cross to be made, the top of which was broken off by pagans when they destroyed the church at Lindisfarne. However, the top was reunited to the rest of the cross with lead, and was later always carried about together with the bodies of St. Cuthbert and his successors, and honorably regarded by the people of Northumbria out of respect to these two holy men. St. Ethelwald reposed in 740. In the 10th century, his relics were translated to Westminster by King Edgar. The Orthodox Church celebrates the memory of St. Finan on February 17th, St. Edbert on May 6th, St. Edfrid on June 4th, and St. Ethelwald on February 12th. Holy Bishops of Lindisfarne, pray to God for us.